I have. Okay, just let me log off.
Okay. Dr. Nader Imani. Dr. Nader Imani. Okay, okay, great.
So now do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. So this is a big relief. So thank you so much.
Dr. Nader Imani is the president of Worlddidac Association and the chief executive of Festo Didactic SC Germany. You are welcome, Dr. Nader Imani.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Just for the security and state of the safety, do you see my screen? Do you see my screen? Just give me yes, no, yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, yes. Let me please take the couple of minutes that is going to follow and introduce you with some ideas that are going on with the digital TVET. So I thought maybe I could name the title of these presentations, like how much digital could TVET meaningful be? And I would like to take you on the journey and describe you a little bit what is happening right now in the fields of innovation on TVETs and the digital TVET. So yes, my name is Nader Imani. I'm the Executive Vice President of Festo Didactic. That's a larger company in the field of TVET sectors. And also at the same time, I have the honor to be the president of the Worlddidac Association. That's an international association of edtech companies from different continents worldwide. So maybe let me just give you a few examples or just brief description of the company I'm working at for the last 30 years. And this is a company that really meets or bridge the education industry. And it has been also mentioned during my predecessor's presentation how important it is that education would geared or would get involved with the labor market, and so to avoid the skills mismatch. So it's very much important that when you are talking or working with the industry, so that there is mechanism that it's actually bringing or bridging the needs, and also in terms of the supply of the TVET, whether it's in terms of suppliers like TVET suppliers or education schools and so on, but also like educational solutions. And this is basically has been going on in the company that you are working right now. So to get the impulse from 300,000 industrial customers around the globe and try to convert this in terms of needs that the labor market and industrial sectors would have. So also maybe talking about digital learning solutions, I think what is very important is to mention that over the last months, we have been really much noticing that the pandemic has been shifting the digital skills paradigm. Whereas the education of digital technology, like the Industry 4.0 or industrial things, in a larger context, keep its importance as before, as it has been before the pandemic. The use of digital technologies in learning and training becomes increasingly important in a pandemic era, where really educators and policymakers are in search of new solutions. And in the post-COVID-19 era, indeed, education professionals are looking for digital mode of delivery of education as a matter of must to have, not any longer as nice to have, as it has been maybe the case just before. This is a kind of let's say shift in the digital skilling, or it's required for the digital skilling in the TVET sector that we would very much be asking for. So maybe if I think my system is not working anymore, so it's working now. So maybe talking about digital, let's say, technologies or a digital way. There's not one mode, one tool, or one technology that's being used. At this stage, let me really use this graphic that is really coming from the Florida Center of Instructional Technology in the University of South Florida. that really describe the transition from a conventional to complex use of information technology, obviously, which offers tools to make the digital learning and training more attractive. So we all agree in Tibet sector, whereas hands-on training, and this has been mentioned by my predecessor, remains very much important to be considered. But the digital learning and training can start at a very simple entry level, like using MOOCs or online communication tools and video streaming, going through adoptions, adaptation, but also infusion phases, where digital learning and training becomes transformational. And this can go up to levels where we can use artificial intelligence and adaptive learning with access to the real remote laboratories. In the common digital technology, they're really known and largely in use before the COVID. The advanced features of digital technology is becoming en vogue every time more in the supply and demand side of the Tibet. So let me show you a few examples to be very concrete. So you see indeed here some examples from selected Worlddidac Association members in the field of mixed reality applications from the real environment to the virtual environment in a production area, but also the digital twinning, like a digital twinning in the real time for preventive maintenance. So where you can really understand the behavior of the production systems, but also some application augmented reality where welding applications could replicate the authenticity that is actually being asked by a learner while welding applications. So these three examples are good examples from my point of view to show a little bit what is being done right now by edtech companies. So not only the demand has been shifted because of the COVID-19, but also the supply has been reactive on offering excellent solutions, and those solutions were basically just not existing or not existing as such before. So let me show you some examples that we are having in the company Festo, where we are really offering a kind of admin platform to manage all these different wonderful tools that are being upcoming. And this is a platform called Learning Experience, and we are able to really change, and as I was just saying, shifting the paradigm of Tibet, where really the mode of delivery wouldn't be that much, let's say, comparable to the conventional mode of delivery as it used to be before. So of course, we need to create courses. We need to even allow the local courses that are being digitalized, and by using the authoring tool, so that every teacher would also be able to mix and match learning contents. We could use learning platform, digital learning platform, to assign courses to the different individuals according to their different learning path and adaptability to their personality. We could also enable the starting the learning, and the learning is really taking place in different places as you wish, as you go along. We can also monitor the progress of the learning, very much important, so that the learner is not in an isolated case, and there is a permanent offline or let's say asynchronous coordination between the teacher and the learner, but also assessment and success is being managed by the platform, and also up to the credentials. So you can see there are many basically features that could be used in a learning platform, like a learning experience in this case, where we can really use also aspects like gamification. We can also use the features like social learning, learning in communities. Learners also in possibility to interact with them, with their peer learners. And also having features like a learning analytics to define and derive better learning paths for students, and so on and so forth. So you can see that let's say the spectrum could be very broad, and this could be very much useful for new way of development. And let me please show you a system that we have been developing so far in coordination with some international agencies. And this is a system that we are in touch with international banks, where we would like to design a kind of blended learning approach where not only, of course, we have to start and have an analysis of the macroeconomic of the country we are enabling or region that you are enabling, but also focus on the employers and work analysis, so that based on the demand of the economy, there is a curriculum design. But here it is. We start a kind of learning path that could be very much blended, where we could increase, because of the advancement of the digital TVET, we can increase the digital part as much as meaningful and reduce the hands-on on-site training as much as useful, so that really we can host more students in a given infrastructure. So again, my predecessor was talking about infrastructures, and the education is a kind of infrastructures that needs to have in order to provide the right education, quality education for all citizens. And I would like to show you the way that we could really balance in between digital learning and hands-on learning, where we could really come and design it in the kind of, as we would like to design a course, by mixing e-learnings or virtual reality and simulations, by positioning nuggets like a hardware that could be very much, hands-on, starting with simple hardware, but also interactive content, connected learnings, that you can interact the digital world with the real world, and also finishing by online assessments. Of course, all together within this structure that I have been mentioning, and also positioning the outcome in terms of skilling, the kind of skills that the employers are really asking for. Here are very simple, let's say, systems or a kind of flow chart, where we can really start with the e-learning when it comes in a kind of digital learning or digital TVET, by understanding the knowing part, so how a electrical drive is working, and how do I manage from the physical point of view electrical drive, how do I convert that in a kind of circuit building, where we can really have in a virtual manner connecting elements together, and see how this electrical circuit is working, and by applying the same in the real world, real case, with a very entry-level hands-on systems, where we can really, with a low cost, already implement learning arrangement, learning path for the students. Of course, this
Thank you very much, Dr. Nader Imani.
Yes, I have a 15 minutes presentation, but it seems that it's shorter, right?
Yes, it's short.
Then let me then finish with one slide, and this is a slide that I would like to present here. And this is the kind of presentation, or let's say mode, that we are delivering for the BASF, that's a chemical company in Germany, where we are really already implementing this kind of, let's say, blended learning. So as of classroom training, it has been converted to webinars, online training, and practical training, where we have also still a one-day training to host more participants in a given actions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nader Imani of Worlddidac Association and Festo Didactic.